still trying to sell, right? And they asked for 11,000 on the Binzer. I was like, you guys are crazy, but also like we'll probably take it because we want to live, right? So we negotiated, but I mean, it's like
you have to. How much you have to? We're gonna lose.
You
how
have
much
to be smart enough to know when you're not riding the wave anymore. When you just try to get it out of the wave, because you might be on the wave or you might be at the bottom of the wave. So you either realize that here comes the wave on top of you and you move out of it, or you just don't even see it and you get squished.
We're just focusing on generating more cash. These things we'll get rid of them, but we got to keep generating more money.
So a couple of times we talked about you having your realtor license. One thing I have found is that realtors and wholesalers are like oil and water.
Oh,
you know, they both dislike the other side, but you wear both hats.
Yeah.
How has that helped you in your business?
That's funny that you say that because
I see
it's
him
very
like
true.
HR.
No, it's very it's very true. I remember we were working on both sides. We had an office. I was on one side, 100% realtor. He was trying to do his wholesale stuff that had 0 deals. So he's like, hey, you got to get in this. I told him, dude, once you start making more money than me, I'll listen to you. And I told him like that. That was the first time.
Kanye style.
I stood up to him because he was like trying to, hey, you're like running out of money fast. So it's funny. The first, I remember it was January. He was moving back and forth, calling title, and then something else happening. And then he came over and said, oh my gosh, you got to cancel your license right now. Stop being a realtor. You're going to be a wholesaler. I said, this guy's crazy. I go with my little tie, you know.
He's like, get over here.
I go to his office, and then he opens a little weird Excel on his old computer. I'm like, okay, what you doing now, man? And then I was seeing him running back and forth all month long. And he's like, dude, all the deals I've been working on is going to close this week, all of them. So he had above $100,000 in closings
like, you crazy
for wholesale.
SOB.
And I saw it, and I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I'm a realtor. I was like, hey. He's like, I just made more than you in 1 month. And I was so shocked. I was like, he's like, you know what that means? And I'm just like,
his brain was rewiring.
I said,
I
know. I have to like turn off my realtor brain and learn how to become a wholesaler. So I was just shadowing him for like, for the next 6 months. It was brainwashing my mind again.
I took him to all the trainings in the country.
And that's why we went to that training. And then he was going to these masterminds or wholesale trainings around the country. And then we didn't have enough money, but he was like, I told him, well, you go, you get all the information.
I spent 50,000 of that 100,000 that month on 2-day intensives.
Well, he told me, hey, I don't have to go. You just get the information, bring it back. He said, my fear is I'll get something else and you will get something else.
Or I'll miss something.
So I'll need you to be the other person with the other mindset. And it was funny because we both took notes and I got something completely different with the systems and he got something completely different. And then we're like, okay, we're good to go. But I really had to pivot my brain, you know, that whole fiduciary, you feel weird, and how to speak with the buyers, the seller, how do you feel about making more money? And then I know realtors usually, they're like robots, you know, and then if you don't talk to them in a certain language, it's called the realtor language, and he's like, you know how to speak realtor. Okay, I'm on the phone. Oh, hey, how's it going? And then just the realtor language. But I tell a lot of wholesalers, you have to learn their language and know their needs of a realtor. They're going to need SPDSs. They need a Binzer. If you don't say addendums, they're going to feel weird and they're going to say, this is fishy. I don't want to work with you immediately.
This is my solution to dealing with realtors. Send them an addendum followed by a cancellation letter. And he's like, no, I can call him and add. I'm like, I'm like, yeah, let's do it hedge fund style. Send him the addendum followed by the cancellation. That's how they used to do it to us.
Have there been situations though where like, because you have your realtor experience, that has helped you on the wholesaler side?
Oh yeah, 150%.
Can you give some examples of that?
I advise a lot of people, you need to get your realtor's license. Just working with realtors. I mean, if you're talking about assignments and you don't know how to explain to them, if you're talking about how you're going to get somebody paid, you have to pay a realtor through the brokerage. You can do it differently through assignments and all these other documents.
That they feel like it's fraud.
It's nothing like giving them what they want and how they want things presented, because maybe they want it for their W-2s or whatever. The main problem is getting paid. And if they're not getting these documents from you and you're a wholesaler and you don't know about all these documents that their file needs, they're going to get pissed and they're never going to work with you. So for us, we're very lucky to inform these realtors and teach them, and they grew with us. And now they know that it's easy for them.
And to understand what these documents are, because I never understood any of that. Like, I need this document for my file. What? sign it yourself.
And that's
he's
how,
like, no.
that's how we created so many relationships with a lot of traditional realtors.
This is why I never brought you into my brokerage.
Right.
Yeah, I had to keep tabs on all that stuff. For me, it's always been continuing education.
No, don't do that.
So much that I learned the lending side, like traditional lending. I even took all the classes. I never like finished the last test to become a loan officer, but I needed to know what lending was so I don't screw up on the realtor side.
Well, he's always studying. Like he even took all the broker classes too. Like he's always
I
trying
already
to learn
passed all the
more and
broker
more
classes.
and more.
I just haven't done the test.
Well, the reason why I'm asking this question is because I have found it to actually be pretty beneficial, right? Like we're talking about like where deals get complicated on the wholesale side, it's like really easy on the realtor side, and vice versa, right? Like there you got properties, they got challenges, right? This could be a wholesale, this could be a traditional, but I have found there are certain instances, even though it's a wholesale deal, like, oh yeah, you just structure it this way, and these are things that I learned from the realtor side. And right now, I would say in this particular market, with the way things are going and dispo being more valuable than acquisitions, working with buyers all these years as a realtor, you understand the psychology and you can explain it in such a way as like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. Whereas before, it was order taking. Dispo has been order taking for the last 3 years.
Yes.
Like that.
And all the